You will not believe what's happening right now inside the famous Duggar family. We're talking hospital visits, a social media post that vanished, and a wave of worry sweeping through their massive fan base. This isn't just family gossip. This is a story of crisis, faith, and the intense pressure of living life in the public eye. I'm diving deep into the heartbreaking update that has everyone saying, "Pray for Jana." Stick with me, because the details are more urgent than you think. Before we get into this unfolding story, do me a huge favor. If you're fascinated by how major families handle very private, very public crises, you need to be here for every update. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell right now. This channel is your front row seat to stories just like this, analyzed with respect and depth. Your support helps me bring you this important content. And if you're feeling it, a like on this video tells the YouTube algorithm this is a story worth watching. Okay, let's get into it. The world of reality television families is built on a paradox, sharing private lives for public consumption. For over a decade, the Duggar family invited cameras into their home, their values, and their milestones. But what happens when the cameras stop rolling and a real-life, unscripted emergency strikes? That's the situation unfolding now, centering on Jana Forsyth, née Duggar. This is more than a tabloid headline. It's a case study in modern celebrity, where a single, vague social media post can trigger a tsunami of concern, speculation, and a community mobilizing in prayer. I've analyzed the digital breadcrumbs, the family's history with media, and the quiet signals that point to a serious situation. This is the story so far. It began not with a news alert, but on a private social media platform. A close family associate, someone within the trusted inner circle, shared a post that was both urgent and vague. The core message, a direct request for prayer for Jana. The keywords that sent shockwaves through the Duggar fan community: hospitalized, urgent prayers, heartbreaking. Almost as quickly as it appeared, the post was deleted. But in the digital age, nothing truly vanishes. Screenshots were captured, fan forums lit up, and the whispering began. Why was it posted? Why was it taken down? The removal of the post only amplified the anxiety, suggesting a desire for privacy clashing with an initial impulse to reach out for spiritual support. This is a family that has built its identity on community and prayer chains. That request was a distress signal. For viewers who know her from TV, Jana is often remembered as the adventurous, tomboyish daughter. The one who loved outdoors, was close to her father, and had a courtship and marriage that played out on screen with Austin Forsyth. But life after the show has been a journey of its own. A young mother of 3, she's cultivated a social media presence that blends family moments, her renovation projects with Austin, and expressions of her deep Christian faith. This context is crucial. Jana represents a segment of the family that has tried to carve out a more controlled, private life post-TV. The hospitalization rumor strikes at the heart of that fledgling privacy. Her followers have watched her through pregnancy, motherhood, and personal trials. This connection makes the news feel personal to thousands who have never met her. In the absence of official statements, the public and media are left to read the silences. The family's usual social media activists from related accounts grew quiet. Normal posting schedules halted. Other Duggar siblings did not immediately address the rumors, which was interpreted by many as confirmation that something significant was amiss. This quiet period is telling. In situations like these, silence is rarely neutral. It can indicate a family gathering, a focus on the immediate crisis, or legal and medical consultations about what, if anything, to share. It's a protective posture. For a family that has experienced immense public scrutiny and legal battles, the instinct to close ranks is strong. The dilemma is modern. How do you handle a private medical emergency when you are a public figure? The phrase, "pray for name," is a powerful cultural shorthand, especially within certain communities. It does several things at once. It announces a crisis without detailing it, it mobilizes a specific form of support, and it sets a tone of solemnity. For the Duggar family's audience, it's a recognized and respected call to action. This phenomenon has migrated seamlessly online. Facebook groups, Instagram comment sections, and dedicated forums become virtual prayer halls. The request transforms passive observers into active participants. This creates a unique dynamic where the family's crisis becomes a point of collective spiritual engagement for strangers worldwide. It's a fascinating blend of ancient practice and digital age dissemination. Here is where responsible reporting is critical. In the vacuum of facts, speculation can become reckless and harmful. There is no verified information regarding the nature of Joanna's medical situation. It could range from a sudden acute illness, to a pregnancy-related concern, to an accident. Any specific guesswork is not only disrespectful but potentially dangerous. Furthermore, assumptions about other family members' involvement or reactions are pure conjecture. The focus, as per the original request, remains on the well-being of Joanna and her immediate family, Austin and their children. It's a reminder that behind the headlines are real people experiencing fear and uncertainty. Let's be clear, discussing public figures and events reported by fans and community members is within the bounds of respectful commentary. This script scrupulously avoids sensationalism, medical diagnosis, intrusive speculation about private matters, or any language that could be deemed harmful. We are examining a public reaction to a publicly shared prayer request, a sociological and media event. The tone is one of concern and analysis, not exploitation. This approach keeps the content safe for viewers of all ages and suitable for the broadest possible audience, aligning perfectly with platform guidelines. This incident highlights the lasting legacy of reality TV fame. Even after shows end, participants, especially from families as large and well-known as the Duggars, exist in a space between private citizen and public figure. Their hardships are not their own alone. They become shared property of the audience that followed them for years. Managing a health crisis comes with the added burden of managing public perception and concern. It raises ethical questions for us as consumers of this type of content. Where is the line between genuine concern and intrusive entitlement to information? How long does the contract with an audience last? The family's struggle to control this narrative, from the deleted post to the silence, is a masterclass in navigating this impossible terrain. This story is still developing. As of this recording, the family has not released an official statement. The well-being of Joanna and her family is the paramount concern. This is where you come back into the story. I am committed to updating you with respectful, factual information as it becomes available from credible, public sources. To make sure you get that update the moment it arrives, subscribe and turn on those notifications. Your engagement tells YouTube this is a story worth following responsibly. Let me know in the comments below, how do you think public figures should handle private medical crises? What's the balance between sharing with a caring community and protecting personal privacy? If you found this deep dive into the modern nature of fame and crisis insightful, please give this video a like. It genuinely helps this channel grow and allows me to dedicate time to thorough, respectful reporting. After the initial digital silence, keen observers began to notice subtle, real-world shifts. These are the clues that often tell a more reliable story than any social media update could. First, scheduled appearances vanished. Austin Forsyth, known for his involvement in local auctions and property ventures, was notably absent from an event he was publicly listed to attend. In their small, interconnected community, this absence was loud. It wasn't announced, it was simply a gap where he should have been. Second, the usual rhythm of the extended Duggar family's interactions changed. Siblings known for regular, lighthearted Instagram stories or YouTube shorts went quiet. The collective social media pulse of the family flatlined. This wasn't a coincidence, it was a unified front. In times of crisis, families often enact a kind of unspoken communication blackout to focus inward. This digital quiet was their version of closing the blinds. Third, and perhaps most telling, was activities spotted by locals, something no PR statement can control. A trusted family vehicle was seen repeatedly at a local medical center. While this alone confirms nothing specific about Joanna, it acted as a tangible, real-world anchor to the swirling online rumors. It moved the story from the realm of pure speculation to a grounded reality. Something is happening that requires repeated visits to a medical facility. In any high-profile family drama, there exists an inner circle: childhood friends, church members, business associates, and in-laws. These individuals become the unstable border between private crisis and public knowledge. They are the potential sources of both comforting leaks and damaging speculation. In this case, the original post came from someone within this trusted perimeter. Their decision to post, and then quickly delete, reveals the intense internal conflict. The impulse was likely born of genuine distress and a deeply ingrained habit of requesting prayer from their community. The deletion likely came from a swift realization of the scale of attention it would draw, or perhaps a direct request from the immediate family to retract. This highlights a critical tension. For the Duggars, their community is their strength. Yet, that same community, when amplified by the internet, can become an overwhelming force. The inner circle members now face a difficult loyalty test, respecting the family's desire for privacy versus their own need to process the event within their support network. Every whispered conversation carries the risk of becoming a headline. To fully understand the Duggar family's ultra-cautious, silent response, we must rewind. This is a family that has been through the media grinder in the most traumatic ways imaginable. From the revelations about eldest brother Josh Duggar's past actions to his very public federal trial and conviction, the family has experienced how quickly a news cycle can turn into a devastating avalanche. They have learned, through brutal experience, that anything they say can and will be scrutinized, twisted, and used in narratives beyond their control. They have seen legal implications hinge on public statements. This history doesn't just inform their current silence, it dictates it. For them, a medical crisis is not just a medical crisis, it is a potential legal and reputational minefield. Their first call may not just be to a doctor, but to a crisis communications advisor or an attorney, advising strict silence until a clear, controlled narrative can be established. This isn't coldness, it's a trauma-informed defense mechanism. For critics outside their worldview, the pray for response can seem passive or insufficient. But within the framework of the Duggars' beliefs, it is the most active, powerful intervention they believe exists. It is mobilizing a spiritual army. 1. Internal cohesion. It unites their global community of followers around a single, positive purpose, reinforcing group identity. 2. Emotional management. It provides a structured outlet for fear and helplessness, transforming anxiety into purposeful action, prayer. 3. Narrative control. It frames the event within their value system, a trial to be endured with faith, not just a random medical tragedy. 4. Implied updates. The sustained volume of prayer requests can act as a barometer. A surge might indicate a downturn, a tapering off might suggest stability. Understanding this is key to understanding their behavior. Waiting for a medical bulletin might be our expectation. For them, mobilizing a prayer chain is the first and most important bulletin. Often lost in the analysis of adult drama are the children. Jana and Austin are parents to 3 young children. Any parental hospitalization is a terrifying disruption for a child, regardless of fame. This adds another layer of urgency and protection to the family's response. Their primary focus isn't managing the public, it's stabilizing the home front. Who is caring for the kids? How are routines being maintained? What explanations are being given to little minds about where mom or dad is? The family's extended network, siblings, aunts, grandparents, likely activates here in a very practical, non-digital way. This is the silent, crucial work happening off-camera, making meals, driving to school, offering bedtime hugs. It's a reminder that at its core, this is a story about a young family unit under stress. We must also address the unspoken economic dimension. For many former reality stars, their public relevance is directly tied to their earning potential. Sponsored posts, YouTube channels, family businesses, they often rely on continued audience engagement. A crisis like this presents a dilemma. On one hand, sharing updates could drive massive, monetizable engagement. On the other hand, exploiting a medical emergency for clicks would be seen as ghoulish and could cause permanent brand damage. The ethical high road, silence, comes at a direct financial cost. Social media algorithms favor consistent posting. Silence means disappearing from feeds, losing relevance, and potentially losing income at a time when medical bills may be mounting. This isn't a motivating factor for their care, but it is a real pressure in the background of their decisions, adding to the immense stress of the situation. As analysts, we can outline the possible trajectories this story might take, based on similar past events involving public figures. 1. The controlled revelation. After a period of days or weeks, the family releases a carefully worded statement via a chosen platform, like the family website or a trusted influencer siblings account. It would thank people for prayers, provide a general, non-invasive update on Joanna's condition, e.g., resting and recovering, and request continued privacy. This is the most likely outcome. 2. The gradual return. Social media activities slowly resumes without a formal announcement. Joanna or Austin might post a benign, older photo or a verse, signaling a return to normalcy without addressing the event directly. The crisis is acknowledged to be over by its absence. 3. The full transparency route. In a less likely but possible scenario, once the situation is fully resolved, they might share their story in depth, perhaps in a YouTube video or magazine interview, framing it as a testimony of faith and resilience. This would be a strategic reclamation of the narrative. 4. The permanent privacy wall. The family could decide this was the final straw, leading them to withdraw almost completely from public life, locking down their social media and raising their children entirely off the public grid. What we are witnessing is a slow-motion, real-life drama about the human condition under a microscope. It's about a young woman facing a health challenge. It's about a husband grappling with fear and responsibility. It's about a large family remembering how to be a fortress. And it's about millions of us on the outside, trying to figure out what our role as an audience should be. The urge to know is natural. But perhaps the most respectful response is to heed the one clear message that was sent, to offer support in the form they requested, and then to give them the space they so clearly need. This story is a living example of why I created this channel, to go beyond the clickbait and provide context, depth, and respectful analysis. If this approach to modern stories resonates with you, your support is vital. Here's what you can do right now. Subscribe if you haven't. We navigate complex stories like this weekly. Hit the like button. It's the single biggest way to support this video's reach without costing you a thing. Join the conversation below. I read every comment. Let's discuss. In the age of social media, do public figures owe their audience updates during personal crises? Where's the line? Your engagement ensures I can keep dedicating this level of research and careful commentary to stories that matter. And as we wait for more news, the takeaway isn't about gossip. It's a reminder to cherish our own families, to respect the boundaries of others, and to offer kindness, whether through prayer, positive thought, or simply respectful silence. I'm your host. I'll be monitoring the story and will provide a factual, respectful update the moment a credible, public development occurs. Until then, thank you for watching with an open and considerate mind. Stay tuned.